I thought this was interesting, and I wanted to start this off to show you, how much money is in the world here. So all of the world's money and markets in one visualization. So this is from 2020. So give or take, this has changed a little bit, but check it out. So each square is the size worth of $100 billion US. Okay. So silver is about 100 billion. Now we got crypto. So this is military spending. The US spends the most money on the military. I think the US last year spent like $700 billion, more than the 11 countries all below it combined. They spent a lot of money. Okay, so this is the US budget deficit, year 2020. This is coins and banknotes. This is the Fed's balance sheet. This is billionaires. This is us one day. Gold here, right? This is the Fortune 500 companies. You got Apple, Amazon, Alphabet, Facebook, and Microsoft, and much more. Here's the stock market, right? This is the New York Stock Exchange. Here's the NASDAQ, and this is other exchanges. Here's the world's money supply, right? Right here. This is global debt. So if you look at right now, global debt's at $300 trillion. Here's governments. So this is households. This is governments, non-financial corporates. And then this is financial sector, global real estate. The global real estate market is $500 trillion, guys. And think about that. All real estate, sooner or later, is going to be tokenized and put onto a ledger. Which ledger? I'll let you you can decide on which ledger that'll be, but there's only so many ledgers that are ISO compliant at this point. You have the XRP, you have XLM, you have XTC, you have IOTA, you have DAG, you have Quant. I'm missing one in there, but there's another one, I think maybe ALBT, but there's another one in there. But there's only so many choices you can make at this point. And this is global wealth, right? This is North America, this is Europe, Asia, China, Latin America, and here's the derivatives market, right? Gross market value 11.6 trillion. Notional value is $558 trillion. This is a low estimate, right? Tons and tons of money, guys. But understand this: bonds, stocks, treasury notes, gold, silver, cocoa, diamonds, all of that value is going to be tokenized. Okay, understand that, right? If you tokenize $500 trillion in real estate and you put it onto a ledger, that ledger now has $500 trillion of value on it. Understand that, okay? So it's not just people buying in, oh, people aren't going to put $5 trillion in XRP. That doesn't need to happen. What needs to happen is debt or things are issued on the XRP ledger, and that creates its value, okay? This is from Riz XRP. Riz XRP is a really amazing person to follow. I highly recommend you drop him a follow, but 2023 looks bright. While many in the crypto space fall apart, Ripple buyback Ripple shares, XRP, and continues hiring, while many are selling off their tokens, laying off people, and filing for bankruptcy. That's a huge thing, right? Ripple announces 200 million share buyback. Why do you think Ripple's buying back all the XRP, right? Because they know how valuable it's going to be. These guys are in the know. If they didn't think this is going to be valuable, why would you spend the $200 million in buying back? All right, this is a great little clip here. This gentleman talking about migrating cross-border payments and ISO, but there's a couple key features in here and things I want you to listen to.
Migrating cross-border payments to ISO 20022. The first one is when you look at a map like this, in many countries that are migrating their RTGS systems to ISO 20022. And when you talk about
RTS is real-time settlement.
About global trade, I was exchanging with a few. What we see in mature economies, about 30% of payments that are cleared via an RTGS system, like the one that you're modernizing, actually have a leg that starts cross-border.
30% of payments he's talking about actually have a leg that starts across border. That's what he's saying.
Right? Because that's the way that global trade is facilitated. You serve your corporate customers, they end up wanting to pay their suppliers from other parts of the world, and these needs to reach those banks that actually are banking the suppliers. They do this for the vast majority via RTGS systems, but this is going to change. We saw on the slides of ODED before, instant payment systems, we see wallet systems. So increasingly, you have to be ready for transaction cross-border to flow through these different ecosystems. But the RTGS systems are migrating. When you do your calculation, all the next generation instant payment systems, they're based on ISO 20022.
All of the payment systems that they're going to be using are based on ISO 20022, guys. All. So what does that tell you? That all of these payments are going to need to go through some type of ISO or ISO compliant token, right? If you're sending value across the world and you're not ISO compliant, they can't use that. So this is the reason why I've been educating my community on ISO 20022 the last 10 months. And they know everything, right? They know XLM, they know XRP, they know XTC, they know about ALBT, they know about Quant, they know about DAG, they know about all of this stuff because I've made it a point over the last 10 months to drill this information in because this is what's coming. This is what's most important. And if you're not paying attention, you are going to miss the greatest chance for regular normal people like you and me to build an extreme amount of wealth in a short period of time because of all of these payment systems rolling over to this new digital age. Let's keep going.
Even those CBDC experiments, by the way, when they interlink, they use ISO 20022.
Even the CBDC experiments, all of them, they use ISO 20022. So what does that tell you? They're using some type of DLT or crypto to do that.
Our computation says that by 2025, 85% of the value exchanged cross-border will have originated from 20022.
85% of global payments by 2025 is going to be ISO compliant. 85% of the world's money transferring hands. Trillions, guys, trillions and trillions of dollars daily.
So there is no choice but upgrade the cross-border. Because if not, how do you ensure that a transaction that originates in rich data can actually make it all the way to the destination country without data truncation?
This lady's off. I need to buy some XRP. Look, that's what she's thinking right there. I'm just kidding.
Yes, you can make it happen, but you will have data truncation. And that is one area where for compliance reasons we cannot afford it.
All right, that was a great little clip, guys. There's a lot of great information. Brian Brooks, he's one of my favorite. I wish this guy would take a role in leading the country, our country forward, the United States, in crypto adoption. He understands it. He knows how valuable the technology is, and he gets it. And he's the perfect person. I wish he would have been way better in the SEC than Gary Gensler, but it's okay.
When a technology comes along and says, those things that your business is built on, those actually weren't permanent. Those were just transient features of a pre-technological age, and we can solve those problems and we don't need that anymore. The incumbents get very worried by that. And we have analogies in our lifetime where I think we remember this. So if you think about the original internet, and you think about the fact that the original
Brian,
internet,
they're too young.
I remember.
the lights are bright. I thought I saw.
Is anybody in the chat that remembers original internet, AOL? You couldn't be on the phone when using the internet at the same time. It was an interesting age. And all we did was like MSN Messenger, Yahoo Messenger, and those things. Those were the days.
One person. I think Jim Asperger's out there. He's old enough because I knew him then. Okay. If you think about the original internet, in 1996, the internet became within one vote in Congress of being treated like a telephone company. There was a real debate about whether the internet should be regulated like a common carrier, and it almost was that way. And the reason for that is that the common carriers were super worried that long distance phone calling and all kinds of other things, that whole business model was going to be ruined by the internet. And it was, to all of our benefit. But incumbents have a very powerful ear, and regulators respond to their incumbents. So I can tell you, like in my seat, it makes you feel really special when Jamie Dimon makes the schlep down to sit in your office and talk to you for 2 hours. But that happened to me every month. It was really amazing. Oh my God. And the normal
Jamie Dimon is the gentleman who is behind Chase.
incentives you have when you're in that seat are the incumbent charter holders of whether they're state banks like Yelena or national banks like me or whatever, is I want these guys to be happy. These guys are my customers. In fact, in a prior era, some bank regulators did refer to banks as their customers. So when you have a technology that is going to destroy or at least disintermediate an incumbent, regulators are going to have, on average, I think we were a little bit different, but on average, it's going to be hard for them to embrace it. So is the U.S. anti-innovation? No one would say that they're anti-innovation, but they would all be super scared of banks going away or whatever their constituency was. Incumbency is really powerful.
So he's talking about these banks, right? These banks make billions of dollars off you and me. Anytime you use your card, you buy something in a store, Visa takes their 3%, the store gets charged, right? It's anywhere from 3 to 7% every time. And so there's a lot of money generated by these banks, and they do not want this technology to come in and disrupt it. But it's here, and it's here to stay, and it's working, and it's saving banks a lot of money, the banks that are using it. And the banks that are not using it are going to be a thing of the past if they do not get on board. Facts. Brad Garlinghouse congratulates Ripple team for reaching current point when verdict may be on the horizon, right? I'm not going to get into this article. The end to this lawsuit is coming. The new payment system, the FedNow payment system, that's 365, 7 days a week, instant payments, launches in March of 2023. You know, here, if you haven't seen this, FedNow system, FedNow and Volante. If you haven't seen this, I'll just do this really quickly, right? Here you go. Volante, FedNow instant payments, end-to-end instant processing through FedNow, our cloud or yours. FedNow will be here soon. The Federal Reserve's new service will be enabling individuals and businesses to send and receive account-to-account instant payments 24/7, 365. It's 7-Eleven, baby, always open, okay? You see this, right? What do you do now? You Google Volante and Ripple, right? Because that's what we're trying to do here. So the Volante Ripple processor module speeds integration. Wow, what's this? Volante, the Volpay Ripple processor module speeds integration to the Ripple global settlement network. It's right here, guys. It's all right here if you know where to look. All right, look. What is this? This bank, right? You have Bank of America, you have Wells Fargo. I mean, it's all right here, guys. It's all here in black and white. If you need help understanding this, guys, please join Crypto Nerds Discord. I will educate the crap out of you, and you will be in a much better place because, you know, this is the stuff you have to understand and know because you are running out of time to collect these assets at the current value. We are going to experience a big dip coming up with the Fed pivot. Stock markets usually crash. Here, I'm doing this as a side thing here for you. Here you go. Check this out, guys. All right, this is the last 6 or 7 Fed pivots since the 1970s, okay? And every single time we've experienced a massive drop. Here's the Fed pivot, 36% drop. Fed pivot, 48. Fed pivot, 27. Fed pivot, 51. Fed pivot, 58. Fed pivot, 35, and we don't know what's to come. Be prepared for the stock market and other markets to be affected gradually, big time, over the next couple months here, guys. And it's going to be a situation. Oh, look here. See, look, this is the stuff I go over with my community, right? There's a lot more to it. They are highly educated when it comes to that. I think it's this one. Okay, last part about this is Project Garuda, navigation, the architectural digital rupee, Bank of Indonesia, 2-tier like digital euro, and what the White House have been talking about. So if you take a look at here, the digital rupee pilot is now live in India, guys. It's crazy. All right, but if you look at this stuff, there's a whole lot of stuff here, right? There's a whole lot of information, blind spot area, public service obligation. So this is like the piping and the information for it. But what I wanted to show you guys here is this. This is how this is going to work, right? Bank of Indonesia, wholesaler, individual company, right? This is end users, intermediary, and central bank, right? But check it. Look at the top here. Ripple Inc. Reserve. This is from Ripple, guys. I don't know. Take it with what you want, guys. But here, front end, back end, Euro 2-tier system, XRP on this side. All of this stuff is happening faster than we think, guys. Faster than we think, right? For example, a CBDC system could provide lower tiers where users who provide less identity verification information are subject to transaction limits, while providing higher tier limits whereby users who open an account and are subject to a robust customer due diligence. So it's basically saying if you're KYC, they'll give you bigger limits on moving this money, and if you're not, they'll give you smaller limits, okay? But here you go, right? Notary side, right? This is how it works. Ripple in between. Ripple's the God token, everybody. Sorry. XRP is the God token, okay? Ripple is just one business building on the XRP ledger. There's going to be hundreds and hundreds. So without further ado, guys, I will end the video there. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. And if you need help, drop me a line. If you look at my message here I help people understand, you know, like this gentleman asked me about XRP. I explained why I think XRP is a superior token, and I get messages like this every day. I look forward to helping people, whether, you know, you're in our community or not. Please let me know how I can help you. Thank you so much. Have a great day. XRP. Bye.